What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to hop on and make a quick video talking about something that I originally wasn't going to talk about, but after all the discourse and how I really love this franchise, I just wanted to hop on and talk about the Resident Evil movie. It's not going to be a big video, just going to do some unscripted rants about the discourse about this movie because, quite frankly, it's ridiculous. So let's talk about it. Last week, they finally released the trailer for the Resident Evil movie. I'm a big fan of Zach Krieger's work from Weapons. I haven't seen The Barbarian, but I'm gonna check that out soon. But after Weapons, I was like, okay, this guy's got the chops. He knows what he's doing. Movies in good hands. And I was kind of surprised to see the discourse surrounding the movie because I thought it looked great. And then you go online and you see people are like, oh, this is nothing like the Resident Evil movies, or nothing like the Resident Evil games, and why is Leon or Chris not in it? Where are all the Resident Evil things? It's like, it's not important. And honestly, if it looks good, it looks good, regardless of it having Umbrella logos plastered all over the place. It's the first time I've seen a trailer for a Resident Evil movie and been like, oh, that actually looks like a good movie. Because most of the time when I'm watching a trailer for a Resident Evil movie, it's like, man, that's going to suck really bad. It's really disheartening to see people just tear down stuff for no reason, especially nerds. Nerds have a huge problem of just like coming out and saying the most terrible takes known to man about something that they love. This isn't the first time Resident Evil's reinvented itself. Resident Evil 7, a phenomenal game by the way, which saved the franchise, had absolutely nothing to do with Resident Evil the entirety of that game up until the very end. Sure, there were notes hidden around the Baker estate that like referenced slight things from Resident Evil. It's virtually disconnected from the grander story of Resident Evil, and that's met with praise. But when it comes to this movie that is doing almost the exact same thing, it's met with like a pushback that I've never seen before. Like, I mean, I've seen discourse surrounding things, but for something that looks good, it's like we're finally getting something that looks good. Still time for it to be a stinker, but it's Zach Krieger. He's made great movies, and he knows his stuff. Like, if you listen to the or watch the video of him like going over the trailer of the movie, you can tell he's a huge fan of Resident Evil. And sure, there's a continuity error during that outbreak in Raccoon City. That's when the movie takes place. It's snowing. Obviously, that's a huge problem because all that stuff takes place in the fall or late summer time. So it's kind of, it's, it doesn't really make sense there. Honestly, in a series where people are getting their hands chopped off and reattached all willy-nilly and crazy monsters, it's like, dude, I don't care if it's snowing or not. This is coming from the dude who's a huge, massive Resident Evil fan that loves all these games, and I do deeply love the storylines of these Resident Evil games, but let's be honest, the last Resident Evil movie to come out was terrible. It was not good, and that was them trying to adapt the games. And sure, it would be nice if, like, if someone took Resident Evil 1 and just made that a movie. But if you really think back on it, I had to think about this today. I was like, okay, when I think back on the earlier Resident Evils, it's like they're not really story heavy. They don't really get story heavy until much later in the franchise. Like 5 has some big story stuff. 4 kind of, but like they're not really, all the story is in the background and it's found throughout gameplay and your gameplay experience. Whenever I play Resident Evil, the first time I sit down and play Resident Evil, I play through the game, right? I play through the game and I experience the story. I enjoy the story, but it is basic. is pretty basic, and it's deeper if you want to go deeper by reading notes and doing all those types of things. Every time I replay Resident Evil, I'm skipping cutscenes because I'm just enjoying the gameplay, trying to get through the game as fast as possible. That it's like, I love the lore and I love the stories of Resident Evil, but they're not the most in-depth stories on the planet. Like, whenever I think back on Resident Evil, they're not really cutscene heavy. They haven't been cutscene heavy until more recently. And it just, I don't know. I think people are getting upset for no reason. Sure, it would be cool to have a nice adaptation of Resident Evil on the big screen that's just like the character, like a simple Resident Evil 1 story or a Resident Evil 2 story told on the big screen. But I just don't think that suits Resident Evil at all. Like, the idea that they're doing something new with it in the movie and it just being some random dude, that's kind of like the heart of Resident Evil. It's just ordinary people in situations that they have to survive. That's basically Resident Evil to a T. And we're getting that with crazy looking monsters that we saw that we didn't really see a whole lot in the trailer, but there are crazy looking creatures like that dude down in the sewer or the thing in the doorway. It had like legs and arms and it was like about to creep out of the doorway. It's like, so there's things that are very much the tone and feel of Resident Evil in this movie trailer. So to be honest, the Outrage is pretty fake and honestly kind of annoying. And Resident Evil fans, you need to do better because this is just kind of, it's bullshit. It's kind of bullshit and you need to get off your high horse. If you want to experience Resident Evil, I suggest that you go play the games because movies were never really the greatest place to tell Resident Evil stories as told by the previous films in Resident Evil history. But who knows? Zach Krieger looks like he's breaking the curse. Resident Evil might be a really great movie. And at the end of the day, who cares if it isn't the best adaptation of Resident Evil? That doesn't matter. What matters is that it is a good movie that carries the name of Resident Evil. That is it. If it is a great movie, it doesn't matter if it's snowing in Raccoon City. Only thing that matters is that it is a good movie. That's all I want out of a Resident Evil movie, is for it to be base level good. Can we just get a good Resident Evil movie? And it looks like we might be getting one. So anyways, I just had to hop on, do like a quick little rant talking about this. I can't with the internet trolls and people complaining about nonsense. Dude, I should be in outrage over this, but I'm not. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I love these characters, and I want to see them portrayed properly on the big screen, but it's like, I just don't care, man. I just want to see a good Resident Evil movie, and it looks like we're getting one. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to say. So, catch you guys later. Bye.